Sorry that it took me a little bit longer than I said it was gonna be. I got sidetracked. Um, but we made it. Let me see if this is gonna work. Let's see. All right, there we go. Welcome in, welcome in. How we doing? Two-card animal pool. I got you. Sorry, I was waiting for the chat on my laptop to load. And when I looked at my phone, I was like, "Oh, there's something there." I ate food, so if I'm sorry if I'm like picking my teeth still. I had a little snack before I got on. Welcome in, welcome in. I haven't done like a late night stream like this in a while, and that that's good for like my night owls and those who are in like different time zones. Kind of pop in. Hey, welcome back in, welcome back in. But Henry, uh, excuse me, your two animal cards are Armadillo Protection. You are entering a phase where, in order for you to be in alignment with your intentions and co-create your best life, you may have to be discerning and say no to many things that have been holding you back in the past. And Turkey, which is good news, you may soon receive an important but very unexpected gift. Expect with deep respect. Someone has sacrificed a lot to help you open doors and grow. A lot of things will change for the better. So move forward in that energy. Whatever you're doing, you're protected in. Remember to stay strict with your boundaries and stay true to self. Um, and allow things to move around you, because whatever you're doing, you're on the right path. That's pretty straightforward. You're good. Like, you're protected, so don't worry about things kind of messing up. Pay follow your intuition, and I don't feel like it's gonna be like a secret thing. I feel like you're gonna know like like exactly what to do, when to do it, type thing. So you know, just stay tapped in. Keep moving forward. You got it. But how we doing? How we doing? How's everyone feeling? How's everyone doing? What snack did I have? I had white cheddar popcorn. I haven't had that in forever, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get some. So, you know how the popcorn is in general. Welcome in, welcome in. You been feeling something coming?
Yeah.
Um, what is it? Venus and Jupiter are crossing paths for the third time, the third and final time this year. So if you've already made it through one cycle, um, and you're going through another, and you're going through this one, writing it out, and knowing that something better is coming on that sense, and staying on that route. Also, Sun entering Taurus is always fun, which doesn't really like make sense. Because really, if we're really gonna talk about it, the sun's entering Leo because it's leaving Aries. It would go to the next fire sign instead of to an earth sign. If we're gonna talk about it like using alchemy. But then again, like Leo and Taurus are like they can give off that same leadership, that same like stubbornness or just like straightforwardness. They still have that same like vibe to them, and you'll notice like when you line them up, the zodiacs like in the chemical form, going from fire to water, uh, to air to earth. You'll notice like how the signs that are messed up, um, like the ones that like they're the ones that cover up the correct one. Excuse me, because I don't know why I'm just having a hard time explaining this. But the one that they made, the one they're using to cover up the true one, like they're interchangeable. Like they have very similar traits. Is what I'm trying to say. Jesus Christ, I'm getting tongue twisted over here. My bad. But yeah. But yeah, how we doing? How we feeling? Anything new, pop up in life? Anything about names and how they add to variational numbers? Yeah, I know what you mean, Henry. Um, Names and the numerical value, they do hold an essence in that sense, but it depends on like what what value of numerology you're gonna go with. If you're gonna go with the original number system 1 through 9, um, 9 would be the um, the test or the trial, the finished state, um, so to speak. Like the prototype. It's literally the prototype before things get sent out. Is what 9 would be, and yeah. So 2 and 7, yeah, that'd just be 9. Um, but with 2 and 7, you know, again, it depends on how you're wanting to look at it. Yeah, 27 to break down to 9 anyway, because 2 and 7 go to 9. Yeah, numerology is very interesting. Numbers are just, you know, symbols at the end of the day. And, you know, we just know those as sigils if you're going to go that deep with it, you know. That's why, like, certain codes exist that you can write for, like, you know, code to, like, manifest wealth, and, you know, the Gravici codes and stuff of that nature. That's like that exists because that's basically just a sigil that you're writing. Using a certain system. Um, well, the system that he used. Symbols for what? Well, symbols for to represent a value, because all numbers are doing is showing a value, is representing how much something is. Um, so all that symbol is doing is representing the value. It's the same thing as like the M on the McDonald's logo is to signify the Mick or the MC in McDonald's. And they just used as the arch. You know, there's the full reason for why behind it, right? But that's what we're just how we're gonna compare it, like, slightly to. But yeah, I know my life path number and stuff. I just never was guided or felt called to, like, focus on it and or like really like pay attention to it. Where did life path numbers originate from? I don't know. I don't really worry about life path numbers. It's not really a thing um, that's like something that I need to worry about. That's more of a Western belief. And I don't. I do my best to not um, keep a Westernized belief system. That's why they're like known as belief systems at that point. Well, I mean, what I don't know what people mean by sealed fate. I don't know if people know what the word fate means or like what they're really trying to say. Like, what I know what they're trying to say is destiny, but they say fate for some reason, and that's not at all what you want. You don't want fate. Fate is the bad outcome. Fate is the outcome that's like, oh shit, My anxiety was right, and it's because you fed into it. Destiny is following the heart space, fate is following the mind. Um, so when people say like sealed fate, like of course fate is sealed because it's going. There's no way out of fate other than just to ignore it. Because even if you open the door a little bit, you've already walked down that path. Faith and fate are the same thing. Faith and fate derive from the same word. But yeah, like, uh, a lot of people will like tell on themselves in the spiritual community by like the way they name themselves. So kind of like watch out for that. Anytime I see anyone with like fate in their name, I'm like, I don't need that anywhere near me. You're talking about fate? No thanks. Like if that's what my rational mind wants me to see, I'm good. I'm fine. I won't mess with it. I'll look into it. I'm not really interested in anything Western at all. That the Western belief systems are fucking something else, and I just don't want to be anything part of it. But I might check it out. Welcome in, Steven. How we doing? How we feeling? How we doing? How we feeling? Yeah, like a lot of Western studies try to cram in what people spent like centuries cultivating, and they try and like cram it in within like an hour speech or something. And it doesn't really work that way. Well, fate's a thing. Fate's not a Western thing. The the people just don't really know definitions of words as all when it comes down to when it comes down to fate. But fate's a real thing. Um, that's basically your alter ego. That's your your set to your Oris, if you're gonna call it in that sense. In that sense, yeah. But yeah, fate's a thing. Fate is what's created by your brain, your rational mind. Whenever you're stressed out and then you're like, oh, everything's gonna be awful and go horrible, and then things end up being horrible, or you end up manifesting like tragedies to happen around you and things of that nature. That's just fate because your rational mind's in control. It doesn't know what to do. Yeah, and it is just repackaged for control. It's like a false sense of like control over self, when in actuality you're not even in control. But yeah, if anyone needs any 2 card pulls as well, let me know, because we're doing those as well. And just let me know what deck and what subject. I got you. Welcome in, welcome in. How we doing? How we feeling? Well, you don't read about anything on the external when it comes down to tarot. And just saying externalism isn't really a like, what about it do you need a reading on? You know what I mean? And also, you need to choose the deck, because it's like if it's your reading, you're choosing the deck as well. So you take more control over your life. Don't just give it to randoms and just hope that something magical is like, no, like, it's your life. You gotta take control of it. So that's what we encourage over here. Giving your faith to an invisible force that then might not give you the actual message that you're needing is, is a mistake of the rational mind. And sure, Kayla, what deck, um, and what the reading about? What subject? Shadow deck, you have progression of shadow work. Alright, so hidden. The first one, the first card that you have is Victim of Temptation. Let me get to it real quick. And a victim temptation is an ends that justifies means, self-centeredness, obsession, succumbing to temptation, checking or testing, moral quality, useless sacrifice, greed, a bad investment, a triumph of selflessness, dissatisfaction, lack of effort, lack of spiritual attunement, a false self, and magic circle. So 78. Just all the way back here. So magic circle is security, protection, confidence, concentrated energy, initiation of successful venture, solidity, and comfortable environment. So right now, you're kind of going through within the shadow work. Really check in on like where you fall short at, like what causes you to break within your healing, what what things do you like relapse on when it comes to healing, when it comes to like whether that's with addictions or healing in general. Just focus on that, and the shadow work aspect of it, so that you can like be more stable and strong forward, and not, I guess, quicker in a sense, when moving forward and healing from other things. But this is kind of like that training ground where you're kind of seeing like on deeper levels why you do things and why you feel things, and what allows you to relapse, and what has caused relapses in the past. Uh, how do you connect with ancestors? Just call on them. Um, if you think that they're clashing, you know, ask them. Listen to yourself. See what aspects of them that are clashing in that sense, and choose which ones you would rather work with, ones which you would rather be with. Make sure that the other ancestors know that it's nothing personal. Um, so that there's no sort of like backlash in that sort of sense. But where are the decks? The decks are the tarot deck, the animal deck, the shadow deck, and the angel power deck. And yeah, Fallen Star, what do you want the reading on? In what deck? Yeah, that's definitely like what they kind of want you to focus on, is just the deeper aspects of that sense, so you can kind of like compare it to other things around you in that sense. um and instead of it being like an addiction to something physical, or like an addictive response and like a outburst or something, you can then be like, if something ends up like being a tick or like a slight bother to me that when I know that it shouldn't, what's causing that addiction response, and it breaks it down easier for other types of shadow work in that sense. The Shadow Tarot, I've noticed the more I've used it, the cards sound a lot more brutal than they are sometimes. And other times, they hit you at a left field. It's very interesting. It's a very unique deck. Two card shadow deck. What about? Where is this shadow? It's right there in front of my hand. I'm okay, Miss Johnson. You can keep your Jesus. That's okay. Um, I'm good. No disrespect or anything, but you can keep that for yourself. But yeah, I can get you Steven for that. Integration, focus for integration. Dude, that's awesome to hear that you've been alcohol free for 200 days. That's crazy. Congratulations on that, like, genuinely. I know how hard that shit can be. Um, but yeah, huge congratulations to that. Uh, yeah, I can do that. I can do that Fallen. But let me get Steven real quick. Your first card, Steven, is Mercury Smile, which is 75. And that is Ambition, Canis, an entrepreneurial mind, enterprise, wit, charm, logic, keen intellect, an analytical mind, persuasive speaking, diplomatic skills. And you also have Wrath, which is interesting. Which is aggression, destructive behavior, bad temper, anger management, self-control, maintain clear thinking. Right now with integrating, what I would say is communicating better with yourself. If you like slip up or you make a mistake, or you're not getting something easy, or like a mistake happens, like something happens, a bump in the road, something doesn't go according to plan, don't be so harsh on yourself. Speak easier over yourself. Um, and as well, on the level of like, I guess like if it is like an entrepreneurial type thing where you're trying to sell something or you're at a business and you're talking in like a business environment. Don't get mad at yourself for not relating to things, and also like don't be afraid to speak your mind um, about things that might be agitating in that sense. But definitely focus on integrating that, like communicating with yourself better whenever you're in anger or when you're in stress or whenever your mind is like racing or being discombobulating. Yeah, so definitely when it comes down to work, um, learn how to communicate better. Not even externally, internally as well. Um, because only you can calm yourself down at the end of the day, and that's kind of where your communication comes in with yourself. Is like, how do I calm myself down? What do I need to do to calm myself down? Like, what are some things that I can, you know, do in the work environment um, that can calm me down? That if I need to hide it due to embarrassment or whatever, isn't too obvious. But if no embarrassment, what can I just do in general? And kind of just moving with that. Um, but yeah, huge congratulations to you as well, Ellen. Um, that's really huge. I love that. And welcome in, Daniel. Uh, and sigils, yeah, I got sigils. I have all sorts of sigils. One step at a time, you know. But yeah, oh, Fallen, I didn't do your read. That reader's for Steven. I don't know what you wanted you read on. You just asked if I could do it on a dream. I don't know anything about the dream, so I don't really know like how I could do a reading on something I don't really know anything about in that sense. But yeah, I do this from the heart. But yeah, the other readings are like donation based. You don't have to donate, but the ones that do are appreciated loved, and the ones that don't are still appreciated loved because I don't I don't fucking pick favorites. I got time for that. Um, but yeah, I just love reading. The more I read, the more I can like train myself. Any deck? You need to choose the deck. White Dove. But thank you for the donation. I appreciate love that. But you have to choose the deck. Well, that's the thing, Henry. Whenever what readers don't realize, and they don't realize it because they're not like aware of it, um, is that whenever you read cards, whenever you see the cards, they're for you. The reader only reads the cards to the most ability that they can. So when you're reading for a quant, you're also reading for yourself, and a lot of readers don't realize that. Um, they're not as deep as they think they are. Um, But yeah, whenever any card is being read for anyone, it's also for the reader. I have the tarot deck, the shadow deck, the animal deck, and the angel deck. I don't know where that comes from. That's a bunch of bullshit. I think that's like a westernized thing. I don't get like the whole you can only be gifted a tarot deck. I don't get that. I don't know what that is. You know what I mean? Um, but I'm doing good, Am. How are you? Go for shadow. For whatever's going on. Got you. What are the differences of these four decks? If you want a tarot reading, you can get a tarot reading. If you want like an oracle reading, you can get the angel deck or the animal deck. The shadow deck is like to see the in-depth sights of things. Um, but after I get Dove, I'll get you Fallen. I didn't forget. Yeah, I love the shadow deck. This deck is really interesting. All right. So, Dove, your first card is Necromancy. And that's with Libra as well. Let me see. Let me get to it real quick. All right. Necromancy is severe energy loss, anxiety, discomfort, and stress, psychological coherence, addiction, false sense and abuse of power, weakness, sickness, bluff, intimidation, fearfulness, depression. And then you have Monk Abel, which is 53. Okay. And that's prophetic vision, strong intuition, clairvoyance, time to lay low. Let sleeping dogs lie in unwanted advice. So right now, um, there's a need to really pay attention to your intuition when it comes down to things kind of coming back from the past. Whenever you feel like a pull in the wrong direction, or a sense of like fear or any sort of like draining energy coming around you, pull into your intuition, pull into yourself more. It's like a clearing in a sense. It's going on. As well as pay attention to your dreams. Don't let the people in the dreams determine uh, what's happening. Just let the actions of that individual, the interactions that you've had with that individual, the feelings that you've felt with that individual, be the true placeholder, so you can better interpret your dreams in that sense. But there's a need to really spiritualize things at this point and see things from a higher point, higher viewpoint, so that you're not stuck. Not stuck in these cycles, not stuck in a past mindset. Here, let me take a drink of this and I'll get to you, Fallen Star. Alright. Let's get you Fallen Star for like that dream. Alright. So, Fallen, your first card is Abracadabra. Which is physical and mental healing, health, a specialist, knowledge and skill, learning, and confusion. And then you have Daughters of Men. 20. Well, there it is. We'll get to it eventually. Anyway, it is differences between differences in people of nationality and social statuses, friends, benefits, relationships, physical attractions, wrong choice, wrong decisions, temptations, an unequal alliance, or like a love triangle. Now, love triangles don't always have to mean like an actual relationship. A love triangle can literally just be you needing to choose between one or two things. But any dream involving flying is representing freedom, is representing a need to, an opportunity to make a choice, you know, having the range to do whatever you're desiring, and, you know, the sky is the limit, right? Um, but be aware of like what you want to choose. You know, you may be suffering from a lot of confusion. Search within yourself, especially since you mentioned a lot about the waters. Really dive into yourself. Really take time to just sit and just let the question ring in your head. What do I desire to do next in life? What do I desire to do next in life? Whether you're going, you know, into meditation or to sleep or however, and then when you sit and think about that for a while, and let that move through you, um, you'll end up just like getting the answers. You'll end up being in a different state, where you'll be within that heart center, and you'll be hearing that true divine self, you know, giving you these answers and showing you these ways. So do that at this time, so you can really choose like, and know, just know what you're desiring to do moving forward, so that things aren't bumpy or shaken up or loose, so that, you know, stress would be able to slip in on your steps moving forward. Yeah, definitely. If you don't, get a dream journal. Dove, definitely. Um, and as well, if if you need, you can get a dream catcher as well. Dream catchers can also help you remember your dreams, and keep the archons and entities that will make your dreams muddy, and forget your dreams and stuff. You know, it helps to trap them, um, so that you can actually remember your dreams and stuff. Mugwort tea helps. Lion's made mushrooms helps connect different sections of the brain to help with memory and stuff. Mm. I don't know. Why would you be fighting your ancestors? Or like, better yet, is there anything that like starts it, or is it just dreams where it just pops in? Because fighting with your ancestors in your dreams is showing a resistance of following the path. There could be some form of like boundary that you're needing to overcome, that's keeping you from following your ancestors' path, whether that be a form of like dogma, or like a fear-based mindset. Oh, beside answers against other people. My bad. Okay, yeah, so never mind. If you're fighting with your ancestors alongside against other people, you're good. Never mind. I was reading off of false information. My bad. You don't have a dream catcher? My mom had like 4 around her bed. She she was on to something. She was doing something. But I had a dream catcher. I needed one really bad. I need to get a new one. I need to have one now, but I have methods and stuff. Dream catchers are cool though. Nah, I don't need to drink that. I'm fine. Nah, she would buy them at the store. She didn't know how to make them. I would love to learn how to make a dream catcher. I'm pretty sure I went somewhere to learn how to make one. I'm pretty no I did make one when I was young. Like a really tiny one. Um but I don't remember much. No, I've seen people like, you know, make them. It doesn't look that hard at all. That's why I kind of want to like get into making them because like you can do so much stuff with them. Like you can get runes, you can get little sigils and stuff, and engrave them in stones, and dangle them from them as well. You can do all sorts of stuff, dude. Hmm. That is weird. That is weird, Nadia. I'm not really sure how to respond to that, honestly. But that is interesting. Yeah, that's what dream catchers are webs. They were a gift given to by the spider goddess. I forgot its name. But someone that remembers the name. I can look it up as well. Um, but it was a spider goddess that gave the gift of a dream catcher because it doesn't just catch bad dreams, it catches all dreams and filters them. You know, you set your intention while you make it, and you can use it to catch dreams so you can remember them. You can use it to filter through to protect you from like entities and parasites from attaching to you. You can do all sorts of stuff with it. Um, People don't really know much about because you know what I mean. It's like that westernized, just like, oh, that's cool. Let me learn only this part about it. It's like a whole like nature of it. Um, I don't know how to pronounce her name, but she's known as Spider Woman. Uh, it's Ojibwe. I don't know how to pronounce that, unfortunately. Um, but yeah, yeah, you do cleanse and clear a dream catcher. Um, I'm pretty sure you use sage and a feather, depending on like your ancestor, like your totem pole. Some people use eagle feathers because of like their ancestry. Some people use hawk feathers. Um, it all depends on that point, but you can do that. I think you can use like Palo Santo. Um, Most people just make a new one though. Well, not most people, but you know, a lot of people just end up getting new ones. I'm just gonna say that. A lot meaning just the people that I've talked to ratioed out. Yeah, if you break the web, the things are set free. You know, the dreams and stuff are set back out. So that's why you don't like touch someone's dream catcher. But as long as you don't, you know, put your finger through the web, you're fine. Well, don't touch it in general, obviously, right? Respect wise, but just don't put your fingers through the web. Um, I did that to my own before I like was using it, and my mom was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, I don't know." She said, "You better not do that." She said, "Your dreams are gonna come back to life and eat you alive." And I said, "What?" And she said, "Don't touch it." I said, "Okay." And I put my hands up and never did it again. So I don't want my dreams coming back to life and eating me. So I'm good. Opinions and mirrors in rooms. Don't have a mirror facing your bed. Simple as. Mirrors aren't like a bad, scary thing. Like, don't be afraid of it. Just like, don't have one next to your bed. Like, that's. You know what I mean? And cleanse your mirrors with more than Windex. Okay? If you're gonna cleanse it, at least use like Florida water or like salt water and lemon juice or something, or like when you cleanse it, if you're just gonna use Windex, at least do like a protection sigil or symbol or something, or a rune to protect it like on the corners and stuff, so that if anyone is doing anything of like mirror magic or some shit of that nature, it's not gonna get through. You know what I mean? Like, really, if people made it more of a habit to put protection work into everything that they did, you wouldn't really worry about so many attacks. This is how our ancestors like lived their life. Um, in that sense, yeah, you can even bless your Windex, dude. Like, you can make holy water and wash with that. Either before or after you do the Windex, depending. I don't know. Depends how you would want to do it, I guess. But just, make it a daily practice to like make everything a protection ritual. Because you can. You just have to do it. Let your imagination kick in. And you'll be granted these ideas. Yeah, you could pay me for protections to make a protection sigil. I definitely could do that. If you wanted to talk about it, like actually, email me. Um, and we can do that. And we can talk about like the angels and stuff that, depending on what kind of protection that you're wanting, or like, how deep you're wanting it to go and stuff. We can talk about adding different angels and stuff into it. We'll go deep, we'll go as far as like the languages that you want to use, like at the alphabets and stuff, and what you want the sigil to like say and stuff of that. We can go as into deep detail with it. So I don't mind doing that. That sounds like that's honestly a really cool idea. Cause like I would want to have like a sigil on my like tattooed on me at least. Because like not only are you binding yourself to that sigil, but now it's like protection that's bound to you. And as long as you know that that is working, it's fine. The only bad thing about getting tattoos of like sigils or things of that nature, if you stop having faith or knowing that that thing is working, it starts to work against you. So if you start saying, "Oh, this doesn't even work," then now you have a cursed sigil. Now you have a reverse sigil. So now anything that it was protecting is going to give to you, and you'll start experiencing that more. And it's because it's attached to you. So be careful of that. Um, which is why on my sigils, I make sure I put my protection and stuff, in case there's a bit of like doubt and disbelief, it's not going to hurt anyone. I make sure, even within the ritual, I make sure to point out, like, to help with that and that type of protection. You do your own tattooing, that's amazing. How much does that start at? I don't know. Uh, I really don't know because I've never done anything like this before. But your second card was Daughters of Men. Your first one was Abracadabra, and your second one was Daughters of Men. Exactly, Steven. But yeah, I mean, like, we can definitely talk about like a price and stuff with it, and it also like, you know, I'm all down for creativity in that sort of sense. Cause like, this right here, this sigil, it means one that knows all. It's from a game called Pathologic, that I always fucking talk about that game, dude. Um, and it's just one of the sigils. It's a really like spiritual symbol within the game, and it's like when I was fully aware that I was going on my spiritual journey, that I got that tattoo, and it was my very first tattoo, and I made sure it was on my left um, arm and everything. It was just an interesting time period at that point. Daughters of Men. I can read the thing for you for Daughters of Men. Let me get the number out again. But it's a need to spiritualize like connections. The Daughters of Men is like relationships and stuff, and choosing between multiple options, like a love triangle. But instead of it doesn't have to be a relationship. It could just be you needing to choose between one or two options. Um, but Daughters of Men is a love triangle, unequal alliance, matrimony between people with different nationality and social statuses, friends with benefits, relationships, physical attraction, wrong choice, wrong decision, and temptation. So just being aware of temptation, heavily. But it's the Daughters of Men is like a book of Enoch thing. It's about like the Watchers. You could just like you could probably just look up Daughters of Men Enoch. um and get a bunch of information on it. Uh and yeah, you can have a pool. Um on what though? What do you want the shadow pool on? But I got you with it. I know my angel stuff. I sometimes I second guess it, but I know my angel stuff. It's there somehow. Yeah, I'm feeling really called to watch Sinner. I usually keep a bunch of tabs open, and throughout the week I'll get rid of the ones that I'm not gonna like work on. I've had Sinners up all week, so I'm gonna find a way to watch it. I have my ways of watching it without going through the theater. But I've been very much called to watch it. I've had people like message me and be like, "Yo, have you seen this?" And I said, "No." It's like, you need to watch it. It's like, okay. Like people that don't even talk to me about spiritual things are like, "Hey, you should watch this movie." It's like, what do you mean? Like, what did it do to you to get you to tell me to watch it? Hold up. Like, what happened to you to tell me? Now I'm curious. You know what I mean? But I really do want to watch it. I don't really like have an urge to watch many movies, but that one I'm like, you know what? Like, it's calling me, and I'm not like, I wasn't like pushed away by it when I looked it up. I was like, you know what? I might actually like watch this. Um, Ancestors pool. Okay, I was about to say what are we gonna do for the pool, but you put it in there for Ancestors pool. And Am, I got you, Am. Let me get Kay's reading. Um, and then I will get yours, Am. Put Ancestor pool. All right. Huh. That's so weird. That's the second time this has come out, and I've shuffled so much. Um, well, you have victim of temptation and magic circle. Um, we had this was I think the first card pull we did. Um, so that might be that might be for more than one person. If it's coming up like that, I guess. Um, but anyway, the ends that justifies the means, the self-centeredness, obsession, succumbing to temptation, checking or testing moral quality, useless sacrifice, greed, a bad investment, the triumph of selfishness, dissatisfaction, lack of effort, lack of spiritual attunement, a false self. And I'm heavily paying attention to it, so I know that it's got my attention, obviously. Um, so I'm paying attention to it. Um, Let me get the 78 real quick though. And then Magic Circle, which is security, protection, confidence, concentrated energy, initiation for successful ventures, solidity, comfortable environment. Um, so for your ancestors, if you feel like you're being pushed to fall for old cycles or go back into old patterns, or be, in an old place or an old mindset, that's just that pull, that push and pull of before you break out into like that new version, that new self, that new mentality. um so go with the even flow of things. This is for your higher good, it's for your protection. um when it comes down to the mentality, or even when it comes down to falling for the trap of something, or taking the bait even though you know you shouldn't, you know what I mean? But yeah, okay, that's what we got for you. Um, Let me scroll up and see. Amb. Two card pool, shadow. Yeah, and you can Amb. What do you want your reading on Amb from the shadow? And I can get you. And yeah, you can get ancestor pulls. So like if you're having like issues and you feel like it's with your ancestors, I can, you know, we can see what the tug and pull between the ancestral stuff is. Yeah. Oh no. Yeah, it was that. The first time we used this deck, though, those two cards came out. That's what I heavily remember. So I'm gonna pay attention to that. There, in general, if you feel like there's a breakthrough coming, stick to what's been helping you the most. If you've been in a detached mood, continue being detached and spend that time in detachment, creating what you're desiring. If it's been hard work and buckling down and getting shit done, keep doing that. And do it knowing that things are working out. Do it knowing that you're protected and that you're not going to miss your beat. Your intuition is going to be like, hey, stop this, do this now. And you're going to switch courses and do that. All right. Everything's going to happen on time. Like, don't worry about when or how things are going to come to you to support you and help you. They are going to come to you. You just need to be there at the right place at the right time. So just keep moving with that flow, keep moving with the waters, move intuitively. And don't like hold back from yourself. Yeah, I got you. Okay. If whenever I watch it, You just ask every time I stream. Basically, just ask every time if you pop in. It doesn't matter if it's like a month from now, right? Just ask me like, did you watch it yet? And if I say yes, and I'll tell you how I feel of it. If I haven't, I'll let you know. But I'll give you my thoughts on it. But ancestors for you, Amb, I got you. I haven't seen any of the Indiana Jones either. Dude, I've seen Jumanji. That's like not really relatable to Indiana Jones, but I feel like that's gonna redeem me a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, I haven't seen Indiana Jones, but at least I've seen Jumanji, right? Uh, and what's that space version of Jumanji? I've seen that one too. Does that redeem me a little bit? I remember this stuff. I don't remember that last movie's name though, unfortunately. Yeah, Zathura, dude. I used to see that on Cartoon Network all the time. Um, they used to play it. They'd play them back to back, dude. They'd play Jumanji and then the other one. Oh my god, it was such a cool time. Dude, the early 2000s of television was like the final, like... It was like the final, like, childlike experience that you could have. What random movies or song? Every movie hits me, and every song hits me with symbolisms. I'm always paying attention to stuff like that. I can't watch a movie normally. I went to go watch the second Spider-Verse with my friends, and I was sitting there dissecting the entire movie like, oh my god, I see this, I see that, I'm noticing this, I'm noticing that. And it was just awful. Well, it wasn't awful, it was fun. But like, I tried talking to them about it, and they were like, yeah, like, you're fucking weird, dude. I was like, no, I literally, like, it was there. We were watching the same movie, man. It was right there. I'm telling you. They did not enjoy it. Well, they enjoyed the movie, just not how I was talking about it. It was interesting, though. I'm always looking for symbolisms. Me and my friend, I'll get to your reading here soon, and my bad. But me and my friend Brandon would have movie nights on Discord. It would just be me and him. And even when we would watch really stupid movies like B tier, like street trash and stuff of that nature, those movies, I was still breaking it down. I was still looking at the symbology and like the time frames and what things look like. I was breaking it down while watching it. I can't watch like a movie normally. It's so funny. It's like it's the same thing with music. I can't sit and listen to music. I'm dissecting it. I'm learning like how this is how they make their music. This is how their brain operates when they're making music. That's so cool. Let me like embody myself in their world. It for this time period that they were working on this song or whatever. Um, but Amb, your first card for your ancestor is Lady Pingerswick, which is otherworldliness, psychic ability, gentleness, artistic creativity, love of music, intuition, vision, discretion, successful resolution of problems, and a good period lies ahead. And we have envy. Where is 61? There it is. Okay, good. And then envy is just envy, lack of self-confidence, diffidence, barriers to self-development. So, right now, your ancestors are definitely talking to you through music, and trying to show you of how good things are ahead. You might not fully believe, um, or want to just trust or know that things are working out just because of how things are around you. But your ancestors are wanting you to know that things are working out, and that there are things moving forward. Moving closer to you as you move forward. So keep taking things day by day, because you're about to be within those, like, that right place, right time energy, where things are just going to start clicking together in that sense. But really, just allow yourself to wait on the divine at this time. Take time for rest, take time for inventory, take time for, like, planning if you need to, for evolving your mindset, and just expanding on, like, what you want to do and what you're already doing in that sense. Yeah, and the shadow deck is really just called Tarot of Shadows. Um, I don't know who it's by. It probably says in the book, right? Yeah, here. I'll do this. If you want to screenshot that or something, um, go for it. But yeah, that's just some extra information of it. But I didn't get this deck. I was gifted this deck. Um, when I was doing the readings in the office of the apartment complex that I used to be at. Um, Someone emailed me and was like, I have a bunch of tarot decks that I just don't use, and I think that you would like them. Like, do you want them? And I was like, yeah, sure. And I received them, and it was like 10, I think, like 12, 11, 12 decks or something. And I used every single one of them. They were all very good, but I'm only really resonating in with a few of them. And they sent me a note and stuff, and they were like, thank you for doing what you do, and was like, if you don't want the decks, don't worry, just sell them and find them a new home. I know you, So I was like, okay. So I've been finding them new homes for the ones that I'm not really wanting. But all the decks are beautiful. Like, I don't have any complaints with them. They're in good condition and everything. And they were cleansed, and I even cleansed them. So, but yeah, I don't know. I want to get, like, oracle decks. I'll either want to make oracle decks, or have more of them. I have some, um, because I wouldn't mind doing oracle readings, you know, because like, I want to just do divination, like all sorts of divination, right? Um, but I want to have, like, the right tools for stuff. And that's all I'm really, like, focused on right now, is, like, learning divination on like different scales. But, like, I already have a plan for stuff. I just there is a seed that I've had, like, in the back of my head for so long, and it's just been cultivating. And I got a rune reading. That rune reading I got like 2 days ago. It I forgot what 3 runes I got. I can see the symbols of them in my mind, but I don't remember them. I know I got Algis, the deer one. I got the one with the hourglass on its side, and then I got the one that represents water. Um, but basically, I was told that I was pregnant, and I knew what it meant. Like I have like I'm giving birth to an idea, and it was relating towards like a business or something, and I was like, okay. It's like that's good to hear. Like I'm glad that I'm pregnant. Like my pregnancy's going good. Everything's fine. Like he just said like just keep staying in your state, and I was like okay. And I've been in a very detached state. Um, so I've been like really happy hearing that because I've been fucking putting in that work when it comes to shadow. Yeah, the way I'm seeing, yeah, I'm pregnant. It's how it is. Hmm. Can you divinate with the Bible? Yeah. You can divinate with books. I forgot what it's called. It's no, I did not forget what it's called. That's called scrying. Excuse me. When you are flipping through a book and then you stop it and then you just put your finger down and read a line, that's called scrying. That was the original way of scrying. Um so whenever you see people looking in the Bible and reading from Bible verses as divination, or looking through a book and doing stuff of that nature, that is scrying. Um, so that's a fun thing. You can scry with cards in a sense, because cards are it's a book, a boundless book, a bindless excuse me book. But scrying with books, scrying with like newspaper. If you're using cards, remember how like I used to, and how like how other readers as well, like they'll have like the alphabet in their cards and like a spare deck, and when the letters fall out, they'll make names out of it. That's a form of scrying as well. Um, so that people, if you're gonna use cards for scrying, do that, and you can pull out the names and stuff and all that. Uh, and that's just like a safer way of using a Ouija board in a sense, because you're doing the same thing, but instead of having an oracle that's moving, you're just seeing what you're able to break down and stuff. And of course, hidden. I appreciate love the suggestion for that. I'm very excited to even if we don't end up like fully moving through with it, it's still going to be something fun to experiment with. Can you request a health reading? For sure. Which deck are you wanting to use? The Angel deck, Tarot deck, Animal deck, or Shadows deck? Angel, I got you. I got you. Cause like, I would really, dude, like, I don't know. It's something about like the sigils that I've been making, like with the meditation music with them. I would love to see that. Like, I would love to have one of those tattooed on me. Holy shit, that would be crazy. Like, I would make sure to keep it black and white, obviously, right? And if you wanted to add a color to it, we could. Post processing and whatever with it as like a reference photo, but like I think that'd just be so fucking sick, dude. Oh my god. Like you could put that like you could make it small, you could make it large, dude. Like it wouldn't matter. It would just look so sick. But I would definitely get that. I feel they would be like, I only really want to get like 3 or 4 more tattoos, and 2 of them for certain is I want to get the Eye of Horus and Ra on like the back of my hands, respectfully. Um, and I want to get like a sigil tattooed on me, but there's another tattoo that I've been feeling like it's stirring up and needs to be like done, but at the same time it's not like anything I'm aware of fully, if that makes sense. But yeah, let me get to your let me get to your angel reading. Um, so first, oh, well, I pulled 3 on accident. Well, we'll take them anyway. We have the Chariot Archangel Metatron, determination and self-control, career advancement, acknowledgement of success by others. Knight of Ariel, trustworthy, understanding, devoted, and funny. There's so much to be. There's so much to accomplish. Making a very detailed plan, being watched over by someone kind. And the 4 Gabriel, a time for celebration, abundant rewards for hard work. Release yourself from burdensome situations. So for the health reading part of this, really make sure that you're taking care of yourself and just seeing what's stressing you out, seeing what might be anxiety, or seeing what's keeping you working out of like a fear-based mindset. um Seeing that and allowing yourself to kind of like move through that. um know that you're capable of doing all that you desire. Know that you're doing it to your best of your ability. um and that you're not underqualified, or you're not going to be like overshadowed in that sense. So really give yourself that like that ease of mind, um and keep an eye out for that stress in that sense. Definitely if you need to at this time, get like a massage or something, but like really loosen up, go back into like your rooted form, go back to your true self in that sense. The Illuminati has you captive. No one has me captive. And which Illuminati? I'll ask you that question. Which Illuminati? And I'm not held captive by anyone. Because if we're going to talk about it, the depending on what Illuminati you're talking about, it's not bad to be someone who is illuminated, or light, or one who can see. They did Virgo tree. But yeah, I like the late night stream. This is a good vibe for me, definitely. We got the night owls popping in. We got new faces, familiar faces, new faces I've seen within comments and stuff. So, but I want to try and do more like late night, early morning, early rising, excuse me, streams, so I can catch like the EUs and like anyone else that has like an opposite time zone of me. And also the night owls that just need something in the background. Or like just something to sleep to, nothing too like bizarre is gonna happen. Like I'm not gonna start screaming or whatever, so I don't know. It's just one of those things. It's kind of like a podcast. I want to go on more podcasts, honestly. That's another thing. I just don't know who wants to, like, I've been asked by multiple people, like, do you want to go on a podcast? And it's like, yeah. And everyone has like dipped on me except for one person, Patience with Spirit, and I have one interview with her and it's up, on her channel. You can literally just look up interview with a Zeta healer, or just look up Patience with Spirits and you'll find it. It's even on Spotify. But yeah, not many people. Let me link it. Let me link it. But yeah, I had one person ask me if I wanted to interview, and we were talking, and we were like, I was like, yeah, I'm down to have an interview, but they kept getting a little scared to interview, and I was like, okay, that's fine, and they just never did. I ended up getting blocked by them. It was weird. Um, hey, thanks, Am. I'm glad that um some people got to see the interview. Because whenever I posted about it, not many people like seen it. It was weird. Like even the short that I made about it, not many people seen it. Um, so those are like a year ago. I need to go to podcast, don't I? I need to find it. Give me a second. I'll find it eventually. I think I just remembered where like a quicker way of doing this is, but I'm already like right here, so I'm not gonna run around. Where is it at? Hold on, I'm gonna have to go over here and try and find it. There it is. Okay, hold on. Let me pause it. There we go. Alright, let me get back to YouTube. Alright, here it is, okay. Sorry it took so long to find it. That took a lot longer than I wanted it to. Oh gosh, dude. Oh, dang. Yeah, I'm just not looking at the comments in it. Awesome. That's so cool. But yeah, I love interviews. I'm not gonna lie, I was really nervous that the first interview I was gonna get was someone trying to school me. Like, that was my greatest fear. And I had to get over that. So I was like, I have an interview. I was doing divination, like coin flips and all sorts of stuff. And they were like, yeah, go for it. It's safe. It's good. I was like, okay. And it was. I gained a friend out of it. So it was very fun. I just wanted to pull myself some animal cards. Yeah, exactly, Kay. Like, a lot of people like to get the, oh, look, we humiliated them. We got, like, we asked them that question that they can't answer. They're not as good as they think they are, dude. It's like, why? Like, what's. Like, I was asked, like, when I lost my coin, I was asked by the dude that found it. I was like, "Don't you do that tarot thing? How come you didn't, know where the coin was?" And I was like, "What are you talking about, dude? Like, I get it's a joke, but like, man, like what?" Like, there's something I don't. There's something inside of me that feels like there's an underlining tone here, and I don't like it. So I'm gonna keep my mouth shut and just nod and smile and like giggle, and be like, yeah, haha, yeah, you did. That's a funny joke, and like contemplate like why the fuck did I get upset at that, and walk away. That's what I had to do because I was like, dude, like, like, what do you mean, like? You just made all you like. I was having a fun time knowing that the coin was down there, but now I just feel awkward. Like I wasn't expecting this. Something's up now. So I had to work through that and be like, why did I get bothered by that? Like what it like. It wasn't like I wasn't like I was like mad or offended. It was like flabbergasted. It's like what the. It's like I was in shock. So I had to figure out like why was I like what caused me to be in shock about it. I still never really got to the bottom of it, but it doesn't bother me anymore. So I guess it's like I guess I solved it. I don't know. Yeah, there can't be a lot of people won't allow you to do deep talks on podcasts. And the ones that they do, like, dude, I'm sorry, but the ones that they like let get public, like the spiritual teachers that they get public, they don't know what they're talking about and they look fucking bizarre. And I as someone that says, oh, don't look at how it's supposed to be, and knowing not to judge the teachers and stuff, at the end of the day I would not want to be taught or led by those individuals. um I would like someone who's a bit more grounded and stable within their realm of what they know. There's moments to be spacey for sure. But as a triple air sign, if you're flighty and I'm trying to be flighty because that's just what I do, I I'm gonna check you because I can't. I don't need you to be detached. I need to be detached listening to you so I can grasp what you're saying. I need you to have some solidity because I can have solidity once I figure out where we're going. You know. Then once I figure out what's the next step is, we're good and we're solid with it. That's why I'll always ask a question back to people, like, "What do you want it about?" or this or that. I need that next step because after that, boom, I know exactly what to do. It's just a protocol at that point, you know, muscle memory, whatever you want to call it. Um, but yeah, I mean, if you want it to be yours, it's sure, I guess, but um, you know, I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna fight. I'm not gonna fight it, you know? If you want it, you got it. It's your present. It's my eternity though. Well, it's our eternity, I'll say, as we share it, because we're all one, connected. Well, we're all whole when we're interacting with one another, but when we're not, we're halved. No matter whether it's, you know, two of the same gender or not, it's about the energy equivalence. I keep it real. I'm not here to fight. I'm just here to exchange mental states. You know what I mean? I get what people mean when they talk to me. I just want to delve deeper. You know what I mean? I like to get people thinking. I like to not only plant seeds, but also to like active, like to help grow that seed as well. If I can ask a question that sparks interest in someone, that's how it is. And I enjoy whenever people ask me questions that I can't answer or catch me up on something that I say. Because then it's like, damn, let me go back and do my research. Let me learn more. I don't know. It's a very weird thing because the ego wants to fight it so bad. But just letting it happen and getting used to it over and over again um, is key. Which is why I like talking to people. I need viewpoints to get me to question things. I like to be wrong too. I like to be curious as well. If not wrong, I'll always be curious, you know? So I really enjoy that. Right. I don't know. A lot of like spiritual teachers also like they don't really move on. You know what I mean? Like I'm not really like though I'm a teacher and you know in certain subjects, I'm not one that's teaching, you know, about like the Palladians and things of that nature. I'm more of the oh hey, are you into like sigils? Are you in the angels and Enochian magic? Are you into like Egyptian stuff and the Egyptian goddesses and gods and you know getting to know closer to truth? You know that's what I'm here to do. To point you to the directions of people that I'm looking at and learning from, so that we can all be on the same page. Cause I'm not I give my resources. I'm not gonna fucking gatekeep, dude. I'm not like these weirdos that's like, hey, you have to pay $1,000 to like have a ticket to join my live stream for me to talk about things that aren't even fully correct when I speak about them. You know what I mean? Like I give my resources because even what if I read something and you read it differently and what you like come up with makes a lot more sense than what I come up with, right? Then at that point it's like damn, like imagine if you just didn't do that, like I didn't give you that resource. Now that greater knowing would have not happened, you know, at that time at least. And that could have been like a destiny point for someone or an event trigger that needed to happen for like a grand blessing to happen on a higher level or things of that nature. Hold on, man. I gotta do this. I'm putting y'all in timeout for like 5 minutes. I want to keep it chill. I don't know what y'all are talking about. I need a little bit of a break. No hard feelings, nothing but love, truly. But I don't know what's going on. No, you're fine. You're fine, Kay. You're fine. I really just didn't know, like, because I wasn't. I was like, do I need to, like, should I do that or should I not? And I just kept asking myself that question over and over again. It's like, well, if I'm asking the question, it's probably because I want to do it and I'm asking myself for permission. So I might as well, right? Because normally I just delete people. This is the first time I put someone in timeout. I usually just get rid of them off bat. So, uh, where I'm learning to hit the timeout button. I'm used to doing it on Twitch, where I'm immediately just getting rid of some people, um, which is really bad. Whenever I get my shit situated, whenever I get my PC and stuff, I'm going to be going back on Twitch, um, and that's gonna be fun. Cause then I can talk about like esotericism while just playing games and stuff, and that'd be funny. I think that'd be fun. I can play like Pathologic, and we can play like esoteric games and shit, and just break down stuff like that. I think that would be fun. Thank you for the time that I got you. See, I knew it wasn't just me. It was just like everyone kind of like I kind of feel like we were all just like what to do. But regardless, I don't know. I'm not trying to like be mean. I'm just really like observant right now. But anyway, Daniel, angel cards. You have Gabriel for both of them. The three of Gabriel. Prosperity arising from wise planning, time to take the next step, optimistic plans that turn out as expected. And the eight of Gabriel. A great deal of activity, sudden and immediate results, and important communication. Pay attention to communication, whether that's in songs, signs, dreams, however. Random thoughts, random ideas. Things are going to be moving quickly. Keep an optimistic mind. Plans that you've been wanting to happen, to me, to help you move forward. Whether that be like a boost in, finances or like a move somewhere. However, that it's going to work for you, and just keep your optimism at an all-time high. Don't worry about how it's going to happen. Just know that it is. Yeah, don't strain yourself when you're looking for the messages. Obviously, like you know this, but I'm gonna just say it for everyone just to make sure. But don't strain yourself when you're looking for messages. Just allow yourself to be attentive. If something strikes you and it's like, huh, and it makes you pause and think and reflect, take that as your biggest sign. Take that as your warning of, hey, this is something that you need to pay attention to. This is something that's within your energy that's now startled you enough to like grab you. Pay attention to this. Don't get afraid by it, but see like what it's bringing towards you, so you can dictate how you desire to move. Yeah, they like to pop up from nowhere. They really do. I'm gonna pull mine. Mm-hmm. The first thought that you get is actually a feeling. Your brain doesn't know what a feeling is, so it's transmuted into a thought immediately. But it's not still solid. It's not formed. It's still in like a liquid state where it can be like trapped in a container and you know, and changed in shape. You know, so that's why it's important to like not but just believe every thought that comes towards you. Um, because the more solidified, you know, the thoughts that you're not desiring are there, the worse it's gonna be. My back has been killing me. I keep like leaning back to like help my shoulder blades because I know my shoulder blades are always like tense. You know what, Jacob? I haven't heard that one before. That's, I'll give that's a good one. That's a good one. That's a solid joke. I haven't that's damn. Let's fucking go. See, this is the why I like the late night streams. Sometimes we get like the late night comedy type shit. And that's always good. Mmm. Hold on, now I gotta go back and read this one. 'Cause I already forgot. Okay. I get that. Yeah, thank you for that, Jacob. Genuinely, that was sick. Ultra instinct. Did I put? Oh, I didn't. Okay, thank God. I was about to say, did I put the cards back up? I didn't. I'm just pulling all sorts of cards for myself. I'm just curious. Damn. This song has been like, um, almost like a channeled message today. It randomly just started playing, and it caught me really off guard. That song's been like a, it's been on my mind for like the past like week, and then it just randomly I found it earlier, today, and then it just randomly started playing again. Because I have my stuff on shuffle, but it's a very inspiring, uplifting song. I'm not gonna lie. And yeah, I'll get your angel card. Let me get let me get mine real quick, and I'll get to yours. Okay, that's fair and honest and true. All right, but yeah, I'll get your two angel cards, caller. Okay, second. All right. So your first card is the Moon Archangel Anael. The opportunity to improve your plans, listen to your intuition for accurate guidance, face your fears, and grow stronger. And the Nana Gabriel. Stay determined to move forward. Be prepared for any possibility in environmental activism. Um, so right now, there's an idea that you have on your mind, or like a plan that you've been trying to formulate. Spend time focusing on cultivating that plan, and do so intuitively. Allow your intuition to guide you with that plan, and don't be afraid when you're taking those bounds, when you're taking those leaps forward. Um, So really, just try and take time to remove yourself. And for environmental activism, whether that's just taking walks, or picking up trash or something, or planting or gardening, whatever. Um, do something with involving nature. One, you're taking your mind off of these things, so you're not worried about any sort of like 3D distraction, rather than, other than like animals or whatever. But even then, that's stuck within the realm of nature. You know, just be in a more calm, more enriched environment when trying to plan, or when thinking about that subject at hand. It's 3 o'clock here. Damn, it's three. Dang, I didn't realize it was 3 o'clock. That's wild. Hmm. I'll rock with it. I will rock with it, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, if anyone else needs a reading, let me know. Name of this song. I'll paste it. Wait, which song? The song I was talking about earlier, or the one I'm listening to right now before I paste it? That's what I gotta ask. How am I? I am doing well. How are you doing? I never got into Dragon Ball, actually. That was when I never really like watched. I had a friend who was super into it though. Yeah, I can get two for tarot for you. Um, what are you wanting? What were you wanting it on? What you want the tarot one? And I got you. Yeah, Striker. Where did you want the um? Would you want the pull on? Tarot's not used for future predicting, so I can't tell you anything about that connection. Oh no, you're fine, Striker. No one's like getting a reading right now. Um, so you know, there's no worries. Unless anyone does want a reading, then you can get one. But for the time being, it seems like no one is an inquiry of one. I gotta go to my house. Stay safe. Sending love and protection your way. Sorry, I was looking for a song. We had a lot of storms like a while ago, like a week ago, I think. Maybe like 4 or 5, 3 to 5 days, I think, ago. We had like really bad storms. Um, One day I couldn't stream because the wind was just bad. Even with the windows shut, it was still like wind was getting in somehow. So it just wasn't gonna be a good day to stream on that one. But these storms are getting big. There's talks about the sun might be getting ready to implode. Um, I don't know if anyone's heard anything about that. Well, unsee, the thing about your free will is if your free will is being tampered with, it's because you're allowing them to. Because your free will, you have the choice to say no and not allow them to tamper with it. The fact that they have the ability to tamper with it is because you're allowing them to on some certain state. So that you have to begin to change how you think and how you describe the situations involving these people so that you're no longer using your free will to fight against you. Um, because your free will can't be tampered with. That's something that you have to manually give up yourself. Two angel cards or tarot cards. On what? And do you want one of each as well? How do you do that? Shadow work. Actually healing yourself, looking at the situation and removing the flesh. It's not the person, it's not these people that are doing anything to you. People aren't doing anything to you. The battle is of spirit. Anyone telling you that it's a specific individual doing something to you is lying to you. They're working for Satan, and they're fucking you up. They're getting you to believe a story to keep you, like, from getting to where you're supposed to get. It keeps you in this cycle of, oh, you're almost there, and then ripping the rug out from under your feet. That's the devil's game, straight up. That's why it's the same thing all the time. So stay away from those individuals because they are false light. They're not telling any truth. And they're broken records at that state. Begin to rewire yourself. Learn who you are. You have trauma that's unhealed, that's leached onto these people, and created this energetic attachment between you and it, and making you describe things on that level, looking within, seeing things from a spiritual point and not a grounded point. And grounded meaning a physical point, spiritual meaning inward point. So really see like where the traumas are at. If it's blocking your finances, why don't you believe in yourself? What's wrong with your authenticity? What's going on with your sacral chakra? It has nothing to do with an individual, but that individual's appearance. If it bothers you and makes you feel like there is a blockage because of that person, what about you feels inferior to that individual? What about you feel smaller when that individual comes about? What are you comparing yourself to when you see that then affects that chakra point, and see where that trauma resides? And yeah, Striker, what are you wanting for your reading? And I got you with the tarot, but I hope you're doing okay with that storm. Hopefully it doesn't kick up too hard. But it happened after I broke up with Max. If you want to unsee, we can talk through it, and I can kind of guide you through a few different avenues, a few different ways of looking at these things, so that you can get to your own true peace and get back to your true nature of who you are supposed to be. versus what someone else on the external would want you to be, or the rational mind would want you to be, which would be like the ego, right? But you can definitely feel like free. This is a space to definitely get down to the point of those things, because you won't only just get my point of view, you'll get other people's points of views as well. So you don't just get one, you get multiple things and multiple explanations on different levels. So like it, you know, always feel free to do that. You know, if you're a little nervous too, don't worry. If you're worried about entities coming in and tattling on you, this is probably one of the safest places to be when it comes to protection, dude. People want to talk about working with angels. I actually do. I work with also, I work with more than just angels, man. I love what I do. So I make sure everything stays protected at the end of the day. I'm attentive. I watch you all. I see what goes on in chat. You know, I read the room. I read the energy. Sometimes I'm a little late to queue, but I'll get there. But astral projecting into the house for years, and I couldn't see the mess with the dreams. And I'm sorry to complain. No, it's not. Don't worry about. No. It's not complaining. It's just expressing your side. It's expressing what you've done. Your story. Your side of it's important. You know, express it the way that you know how to at this point. It's not complaining. Um, the thing is, a lot of people use the word trauma dump on people, um, and to me, I don't really follow that word trauma dump. I don't really believe in it. I don't use it. Um, and the main reason why is because I've done a lot of shadow work on myself to where like even if someone does tell me about their traumatic experiences, it's not a trauma dump because I don't get traumatized by it. There's not an exchange. I'm not having someone's trauma dumped on me. Like I'm not picking on their pain, but I'm experiencing it. I'm flowing through it. Not only to better understand them, but to better understand myself as well. Um, and that's just how I roll with it. Um, so don't worry about feeling like you're complaining. This is perfectly like you need to do this at some point. It doesn't need to happen immediately. Ease yourself into it, but heal your throat chakra, heal that expressive. That's going to help your sacral chakra and your throat chakra both. It's going to help you be more authentic and express yourself more openly and stand on your truth and what you know versus whatever the people know. It's going to help you solidify yourself and make yourself stronger rather than feeling under pressure by forces. You'll then begin to see things move because you're on top of it, because you'll be over it. So don't feel ashamed. And plus, like, we got, if you need like tips for like sleep protection and stuff of that nature, we got all sorts of stuff over here on the channel. We can talk about stuff like that too. So like, don't, you know if you're looking to heal and looking for answers on how to heal and what to do, this is the place to ask the questions. No questions stupid, and no questions too big or small. We'll get down to the answer, or an answer that's suitable for you at some point, and that's just the goal at the end of the day. But yeah, Kala, what's the subject? We're gonna use the tarot cards, yeah, but what are you wanting the reading about? um oh, you mentioned above. My bad. Oh wait, no, wait, hold on. That was the angel card and the tarot card thing. um But yeah, Striker, whenever it as well for you, Striker. What are you wanting the reading about? And we'll get for you too. I'll get y'all's readings at that point. No worries, Unsies. Like, genuinely, don't feel scared or ashamed to talk about these things. We're here to heal, and we're here to get things on the level that we can get it at. Don't worry about feeling less than. You are a lot more whole, a lot more connected, a lot more loved and protected than you'll truly ever know. And that's just, that's for everyone truly. Um but we can only grasp only a fraction of the totality of, of it, of life, of, of God, of the experience of what we go through. And just remembering at, like, at the end of the day, at the root of it all, it's all formed because of love. There's a connection of trying to nurture, to help you learn, to help you free yourself from old ways, that's underneath all of it. And when you're able to, like, see that part of it, throughout life completely, it begins to lighten your load. But that's a journey on its own that takes a while. But that's the journey that really a lot of people who are on the spiritual path are looking for, is like, how do I, like, live happily with all the shit that's going on? Well, we gotta open the box to figure that out. What's inside of your box? Inside of your, like, little time capsule that you haven't opened up yet, with all your memories and stuff, that, what's going on in there that's keeping yourself from moving forward, what are you curious about in the past that's happened, and just, looking at it, and seeing what you can grab from it. I mean, yeah, I do readings. It's in the title. But yeah, exactly what Daniel said. No questions off the table. If I don't know the answers, someone else will have, like, an explanation that will either help me, bounce off of them, or they'll just, they'll take the floor, and that's just how it is. There is no one teacher here. We're all teaching at the same time. And this isn't no esoteric. This is, well, no. Um. Mm-mm. This is esoterics. It's not exoterics, though. But whatever. Yeah, I always try and uh you're good, Unsee. I deal with trolls all the time. I don't care. I used to troll people when I was, like, a child on the internet, so I get it. Like, I really get, like, the hee hee ha ha about it. So I don't really get mad. It's just one of those, like, really cute cycles that life does, where it's like, hey, remember when you did this? Now you get to live through it. And it's like, yeah, I remember when I did that. And I remember having a lot of fun. So I'm not gonna, like, shit on someone, you know. But what I'll do is I'll silently delete the message, because they'll go, ah, damn, and, then it's like, well, we'll move on to someone else or whatever, or they'll get mad, or, like, fake mad or whatever, exaggerate and start cussing. Oh, they're fucking stupid or whatever. They'll have their fun. So that's what I let them do. But yeah, uh, uh, you can't, with tarot. You can't pick up other. It's not about other people. It's about you and yourself. So for the intention of Father, I don't have any tool here really that would tell any intention toward about the Father towards you. Um, in that sense, the tools that I have right now are mainly focused on the internal workings. Okay, all right, Kay. I appreciate love that. Thank you. Um, you know, you don't gotta pay money to talk to me. To be in contact with me, though, you can email me for free. But yeah, whenever I'm gonna get like I'm gonna learn how to read runes at some point. I'm gonna get a bone divination kit, and whenever I get my bone divination kit, that's when I'm gonna be able to start picking up on that stuff again and start doing divination in that sense with that. Um, but yeah, right now the just the tools that I have are mainly geared towards just the internal workings of things. And I get it. Some people want like to know about external things, and I'm not really here to feed the ego in that sense. Um, but you know, if I were to, I'd probably have a different toolkit. Even then, at the end of the day, divination really is just about, the connection between you and the divine, or you and yourself, rather than anyone else. That's the whole point of divining. Um, but yeah, it's a whole thing. All right, I got you, Striker. So right now, Striker, um, you said you're waiting on your pinnacle. I don't really know what that means. I kind of assume that you're waiting on like the reward, the physical appearance of something. But right now, the reason why things are kind of stalled and haven't like moved forward in that sense with the financial situation is because there's something on you're battling with Saturn right now. This is Leo and Saturn, the Five of Wands. um, you're in a fight with Saturn right now where you're trying to move forward, but there are opinions of others, or the fear of how the externals are going to view your steps moving forward, or your ideas moving forward, that's blocking this abundance, that's blocking this sort of prosperity to come in your way. So really stay focused on that and see like what fears, what things are keeping you from moving forward, and then gain mastery over those thoughts. When you realize like what thoughts that are going through there, go back to, from the swords, go back to the cups, go back to the feeling. What feeling is giving this thought permission to be so strong? And then when after the cups, when you figure out that feeling, go back to the wand, the idea. What happened to make me feel this way? Um, and when you look at it from that sense, then you're going to be able to look at it from the when you'll be able to see the whole picture of it. And you'll be, when that thought comes up, it's like this is just me being worried about this thing, and that doesn't have to happen. That doesn't. I'm not worried about that sort of thing. So moving forward on that, yeah, just knowing that there's not a competition. This, you can't compete with anyone. Everyone has their own originality in that sense. If don't be competitive with outside forces, be competitive with yourself. Do better with yourself every day. Do something different to grow what you're desiring to grow every day, and challenge yourself in that sense. Because being competitive isn't like a bad thing. It's just about how you're focusing on it, and where that attention's being focused on. If it's being focused externally, then it can end up being a bit of an issue, um, for not only yourself but for others around you. But if you're using it on an internal basis, it's going to be able to motivate you and push you forward through things. But yeah. I love tarot. Tarot cards are just so interesting. There's so much to them. I still don't know all of it. I'll find out one day. Oh my gosh. Yeah, definitely. Make sure that you're in a stable position internally before making any sort of move on the external. Just so you know that you're moving forward with stable ground and stable mind. But yeah, if anyone else needs a 2 card pool, or any question about, moving forward or anything of that nature, like healing wise or any sort of question, now would be a good time to ask, because I'm about to go to bed. It's like 4 o'clock in the morning. Um, but I'm gonna wait like 10 minutes, so don't like don't feel like I'm immediately ending. We got 10 minutes to chill. Something's gonna happen within 10 minutes. Just you wait. Just you watch. Boom. See? Yeah, 2 cards. I got you all. On what deck? What subject? The decks are the tarot deck, the shadow deck, the animal deck, and the angel deck. Um. So what deck and when? What subject? What is your quarant? Your question. Your quarant. My bad. What's the question? What's the question? Angel deck. Okay. Yeah. Same here, Daniel. All right. So angel deck and shadow deck, I got you all. On like it just in general about anything in particular, what subject are you all wanting the readings on? General, got you. Love and community, got you. I gotta work on that mix. I DJ next month. All right, so K, your angel cards are the 6 of Michael. The light, it's the light at the end of the tunnel. Breathe a sigh of relief and make new plans, relocation, or travel. And the 10 of Michael, a situation has ended and you are finally free. New opportunities for happiness will now follow. Put the past behind you. So hell yeah, that's pretty self-explanatory if you ask me. And you have Archangel Michael with you, like twice. So ask Michael for assistance if you need help moving forward. It seems like he's taking lead on that. But Danny, I got you for loving community with the shadow. You as well, Striker. I appreciate you for stopping by. Thank you so much. Alright, so Danny, your cards are Lilith. Let me get to Lilith real quick. Alright. And Lilith is complexes, manias, phobias, hidden issues, unrevealed secrets, the unknown, hidden influences, a woman feminist, a sexual, ambitious woman, a woman desiring equality in her relationships, a strong, independent woman, sensuality, female mystery, a lesbian, a cruel female, unsatisfied desires, vindictiveness, crossing the permissible limits, painful expressions of the relationship, female issues, life without men, jealousy, a weak, indecisive man, a man depending on a woman, and the dominance of women in relationships, and Mercury's smile. And Mercury's smile is ambition, canniness, an entrepreneurial mind, enterprise, wit, charm, logic, keen intellect, analytical mind, persuasion, persuasive speaking, and diplomacy skills. So definitely with love and community, focus on what you're desiring. Focus on what you're wanting in a relationship. Like, how are you wanting it to nurture you? This is like the communication that you're needing within love and community. When it comes to friends, what kind of friends are you wanting? How are you wanting them to nurture you? And start nurturing yourself in that way, as well, to help that process move in quicker. But ask yourself, like, who am I asking to come in? Who am I desiring to, hang out with? Who am I desiring to be in my life in a romantical sense, in these ways? I forgot to put these cards up in there. But ask yourself those questions and move forward with that. And as well, make sure that you're not acting I'm trying to find a way to word it. The way it's coming to me, and I want to word it better than this, but the way it's just at me right now is like, don't let a fear of someone being less or not knowing you or not being fully aware of what you do, don't let that ruin the chance of something to happen. Keep optimism at your hands at all times. But yeah, I can get you a tarot card and an angel card, Kayla. I got you. I didn't see your message, but I'm not really like gonna leave. You asked for a reading. I'm gonna get it. It's not an issue. Who's messaging me at 4 in the morning on Discord? What the hell is going on? They gotta know I'm awake. They gotta know somehow. I don't know how the hell. Alright. So your tarot card is the Six of Wands, Kayla. The Six of Wands talks about working together with yourself to obtain victory. Allowing yourself to dictate the best option, trusting that you know the best way out, and walking with that intuitive sense. So there's already a plan that you already had devised. I mentioned early in the other reading, this same kind of energy, the same presence of like, you already have something devised. This is idea that's already devised. You're just needing to walk with it because it is going to be victorious. And we have 8 of Ariel. Take pride in your great work, in your excellent work. Practice makes perfect, and consider getting additional education or training. So in order to like kind of help you move out of the situation, really study the situation. You're kind of in a position to really see the golden light of this. There's just a need to really not stress out about the timing of something or how fast or how soon something's going to be, and really see the situation for how it is, and stay determined on that path moving forward to help you leave the stressful environment. Staying focused on that heart space is what's really going to be important. But you already have the answer to that success. You already have some form of alignment, some form of steps that you've taken that already align with the end goal that you're desiring. You're just needing to continuously walk down that path. You know, we would like to assume that us walking down that path is going to make things instantly happen, but that's the ego, that's the rational mind. Remove time and matter from yourself and really just allow yourself to be in that spiritual form, be formless, just allow things not to control how you're going to look. Now, don't be formless, excuse me, have a form, excuse me. Don't be controlled by other things floating around you. Allow yourself to dictate how you're going to move around. One shadow card and an angel. Okay. This is gonna be the last one I do. Um, and then I'm gonna call it. So your angel card is the Ace of Michael. A wonderful new idea. Don't allow bumps in the road to hinder your progress. Clear up communication problems with others. And Mercury smile. I think we had that before for you as well, or someone. It's just popped up a lot. But regardless, it's about communication. So again, really allow the situation, allow things to speak to you more. Don't be so avoidant of things because you'd rather not deal with it. Because you'd rather not deal with it, or because you don't want to feel a certain way. Allow things to speak to you. Be in a more of a feeling state. Be more accepting of things coming towards you, even if you might not like the subject of this shadow work that you're experiencing, or things coming towards you. It's for that benefit, and the more you can accept those things, the more you will be able to just attract and be able to accept the other things that you're desiring within life as well. But yeah, I'm going to call it here. My email's there if you're wanting to email me. Donation links are down there if you want to donate. It's not required. And the website's down there if you're interested in any of my services. Regardless, though, thank you all so much for being here. I truly appreciate, love each and every one of you for being here. It's always a pleasure. But yeah, I love you all so much. You're going back tenfold and forever.